By the end of this video, you'll have all the tools you need to be the most effective and engaging online teacher that you can be.
In the first part of this series, we introduced the TITAC Method. Today we'll take a closer look at the first T, teacher, to show you ways that you can be the most exciting teacher online. Lucas, what do you do to engage your students in the classroom?
Well, I'm generally a pretty high energy teacher. So coming from a performance background, I'm generally keeping their attention with just lots of movement, lots of different intonations in my voice, and keeping things pretty high energy all the time. But I do have to wonder, how does that translate into online teaching?
Well, just take that same enthusiasm, multiply it by 1,000. That way you can reach through the camera, over the internet, all the way across the world to your students.
How are you? How are you? I'm fine, thank you.
We'll explore these aspects of being an engaging online teacher. Dynamic voice, humor, personal connections, the show must go on, movement. Taking risks is a great way to show your excitement and passion in an online classroom, like wearing a costume or using some props.
Don't forget about pacing, flow of the lesson, and brain breaks. Yeah. Thank you. So as a performer, I'm used to using my voice or props in all sorts of different ways. There's lots of ways to draw the students in besides just being louder or faster. For instance, if I've got a new vocabulary word that I want to present, I pretend like it's the coolest word I've ever seen in my life.
How about this big thing, right?
Or if I'm showing a new object, I pretend that I've never seen that object before, and it's just blowing my mind. Or even if you want to use pictures and GIFs, on the screen or in a slideshow. Those are awesome ways to draw the kids in.
A great way to practice word choice, speech, and intonation is to record yourself and play it back.
You've done all that. Now it's time to rehearse. What do? Start by explaining the story in your own words. That way, you can give them a very clear idea.
One thing that's always sure to keep the kids engaged is humor.
Where is the teacher?
Getting a good laugh or even an eye roll or a groan, if that's how you groove, is always fun for the kids. And there are a few different ways you can do something like that. For instance, do something kind of slapsticky. Falling down, spilling your pencil, something like that. Something that just make you look goofy. The kids always love that stuff, seeing their teacher behave like that. Or one thing I like to do, feign not really knowing what I'm presenting. Is this my foot, or are these my eyes? Things like that kind of evens the playing field. Makes it less teacher and student and more just people playing around. Or jokes. If only I knew a good joke.
Oh, I got one for you. Did you hear about the fire at the circus?
No.
It was intense. Okay, so jokes and humor might not be my thing. The way I usually connect with students is through sharing things about myself, my personal life, like my family, my pets, or my hobbies.
This is my brother. Water-dee-dee. Tash it, water-dee-dee.
Teaching online is a lot like a live performance, where you're playing the role of actor, producer, director, cameraman, and tech support. But no matter what happens, you have to keep going. Or find a worthy distraction while you figure it out.
One moment, we can't hear you. Which room are you in? Can you wave your hand in front of the other camera? The camera in the front. There you go. Okay. Go ahead.
Everybody, hands up. Watch my hand.
Being a teacher, you have to have a lot of tricks in your back pocket, and it sounds like teaching online is just the same. So what are some tools to have in your toolbox, so to speak, when you're teaching online?
That's a great question. Let's check it out.
Listen and repeat. Leo is on the chair.
You know, one of the things I initially found challenging about teaching online was that I was no longer in the room with the students. I now had this interface in between us. But soon I found that the microphone and the camera allowed for so many opportunities of intimacy and variation. So now the possibilities with the camera and the microphone, they seem endless.
You know, movement is so important when we're teaching in the classroom, even more so when you're teaching online. The difference is you just have this box of a camera frame to work within. But if you can figure out how to make that work for you, you can be such an engaging, exciting teacher.
He says he likes to eat pizza. Everybody, let's eat 100 pizzas. Ready?
The camera can pick up expressions, like Lucas's face when I told that joke.
Like, think of the difference when you see live theater and when you see a movie. You know, in live theater, the performer has to be big and exaggerated, but on camera, you're so much closer, and you can convey the same meaning and the same messages with more subtle movements and noises. While online education is new territory to a lot of us, there's no reason why you can't be just as engaging and just as effective as a teacher, just like you were in the classroom.
That's so true. Apply what you learned here about the TITAC method, and I bet you and your students will have a lot of fun together online. Happy teaching!
Bye-bye!